Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
Okay, so it looks like we're getting Elden Ring 2 before GTA 6. Elden Ring Nightreign just got announced at the Game Awards, and everybody is losing their minds.
There's no way, right? What? That's no.
Now you know why I was so excited. There you have it. Elden Ring Nightreign is a
Oh
new
my
co-op.
god.
IO gift subs. Wow. Is it actually Elden Ring adjacent?
Seekers of redemption.
What the hell?
Chosen.
Is Elden Ring getting another DLC?
Prizes, believe it or not.
Dude, that's awesome.
are
I'm
still
like,
to come,
I'm
as well
like
as
shocked.
performances by
Damn.
Hideo Kojima
All right.
and
Dude, I'm so happy. My heart's beating so fast. I'm such a loser. Dude, I don't care what it is. I'm playing the fuck out of it.
Myself included. I mean, where do I even start? The Sin-to-be demon from Dark Souls 1? Open world free flight, parkour, the Nameless King?
Shut up and take my money.
Let me tell you, it is a great time to be a Soulsborne fan right now. I mean, we just got a DLC for this game this year, and now we're already getting another standalone co-op boss rush game. Hey FromSoft, you guys mind turn off the stove for a second because you guys are cooking way too much. But listen, we need to talk about what this game is even going to be because, like, what is even happening here? Now, some people are under the impression that this is going to be some sort of live service Elden Ring Battle Royale. And as cool or terrifying as that sounds, in reality, this is going to be a whole lot different than anyone could have ever predicted. So, without further ado, here's everything we know about Elden Ring Nightreign and how it's going to change everything. Elden Ring Nightreign is a boss rushdown style co-op action RPG that has you fighting against various enemies and bosses from throughout the Soulsborne universe. At long last, you can relive the thrill of these classic boss fights with improved player movements and abilities, along with each boss getting a spike in both difficulty and mobility. Wait a minute, but although it's labeled as an action RPG on the official Steam listing, it's not really going to be an RPG in the way Elden Ring is. While some legacy bosses were revealed to be in the final game, it hasn't been confirmed that every boss from every Soulsborne game will be included. But come on, it's not like From Software would make something like this and fumble the bag that hard. Right? Please give us Ornstein and Smo. Some people also think this is going to be a free-to-play Dark Souls Battle Royale, and I just don't see it, you know? Besides the closing ring of fire and the bird you fly in on. Oh, but rest assured, this game will be its own fairly priced, unique thing, like the rest of From Software's games. But unlike the other Souls games, there will be no PvP in this game whatsoever, and it will be a purely co-op experience with the main story to follow. Which, you know, I'm okay with. If I ever want to get two-shot from a double greatsword wielding tryhard, I can always play the base game. As far as what the main gameplay loop will be like, you start off every run in an altered version of Limgrave. Before each game cycle, you'll be able to choose which final boss you want to take down after 2 in-game days of combat and exploration. Seems familiar. But anyway, the weapons, items, and bosses you fight will be completely randomized, and there might even be weapons from some of the older Soulsborne games. But that's just speculation on my part. Most of the weapons and armor that will be carried over from Elden Ring will function basically the same, along with the controls like backstabbing, weapon pairing, etc. You can play the game solo if you're a true alpha male, or online with up to 3 players total, and the same password system that will be carried over from the original game. There is absolutely no fall damage in this game, and you're encouraged to basically speedrun boss fights and loot items before the ring pushes you towards the final boss of the end of each 10-minute day cycle. Still with me so far? Okay. Now for the heroes. So remember when I said this game was going to be kinda different from Elden Ring? Yeah, well, this is one of those deviations. In Nightreign, there will be no custom characters you can create. Instead, there will be 8 pre-made hero classes that all come with unique stats and special abilities. Now I know what you're thinking. What about the e-girl I spent 3 days making? She's integral to the way I play. Nope, sorry, not in this game. We'll finally be able to immerse in an Elden Ring co-op without running into Scarlet Thought. Or just Shrek. First on the list is Wilder, a standard armored knight wielding a longsword and a grappling hook? This game is going to be crazy. Next up is the Duchess, who will be more of a faster scout-like character, who wields a magic dagger, sidesteps instead of rolls, and get this, has the ability to re-deal damage to enemies that you and your teammates have dealt a second time, which is kind of insane. She also apparently looks like 2B from Nier Automata, so do with that what you will. Moving on next, we have Birdman. Okay, that may sound pretty lame at first, but this is actually the dude from the reveal trailer that flies super high and crashes back down into the ground using the bird on his arm. He's gonna be more of a tanky type character, so it makes sense he has a pretty strong special move. That special ability he has also raises attack power and defense for allies for a short time, as well as reviving down teammates. Who is this guy, Josuke? After the Birdman though, we have the Recluse, who's a frail mage type, and is actually going to be one of the most complex characters to learn, as he has the ability to absorb affinities from enemy attacks and send them back after storing a certain amount of them. So in simple terms, dude's basically Kirby. The next 2 characters don't actually have a name, but one is an archer type character, while the other one focuses on parrying attacks similar to Sekiro. But wait, I hear you saying, that's only 6. You said there was 8 characters. Well, that's because the final 2 characters we have 0 information on. So, your guess is as good as mine. But either way, I have high hopes. So when I first saw the reveal trailer and saw how the map looked, the first thing I thought of was Dark Souls 3. Like, come on, you can't tell me this doesn't look like the Undead Settlement. Anyway, as far as the map goes, it's going to be a jumbled version of Limgrave with familiar structures scattered throughout. Everything is going to remain pretty much the exact same for every run, and will be the only thing that's not randomized, apart from occasional, environmental modifiers, which basically means places like swamps or erupting volcanoes that will appear at random and might even have ties to certain characters' storylines, which actually sounds pretty damn cool. Oh yeah, and apparently Margit and other bosses can invade your world and chase you down. Moving on. Alright, so next, let's talk about the looting system. It's going to be a lot different from OG Elden Ring, but still pretty straightforward. Like for one thing, any character you pick will be able to use any weapon in the game, so naturally, builds are going to be working a little bit differently this time around. Enemies and bosses will drop randomized loot and even stat buffs and affinities for your weapons. But if you see something you want, you're going to want to grab it fast because your teammates can straight yoink that ish from right under your nose. There will also be items you can grab called relics, which is basically this game's version of talismans, and similarly, they'll give you certain buffs like extra vigor, boost in healing from Crimson Tears, or even mark hidden treasure on your map. Besides that though, loot is going to be everywhere, and will be color-coded by rarity, which kinda reminds me of Diablo. Yeah, that's it. After killing a boss though, you can either choose a permanent upgrade to your character like damage reduction or a weapon upgrade. They also reworked the inventory system, so now you can only hold 6 weapons total. And while that might sound worrying at first, every weapon you pick up will maintain their passive effects and boost your stats even if you're not holding it. It's hard to say how exactly everything's gonna work right now, but I have a feeling FromSoft knows what they're doing at this point, even if this isn't a traditional Souls game. Or who knows, maybe they'll break their streak and drop some mid. So earlier I mentioned that all 8 characters can wield every weapon in the game, but if you've ever played Elden Ring, which I'm assuming you have since you're watching this video, you know that this is virtually impossible. But in Nightreign, progression is going to work differently. You'll still receive runes by defeating enemies, but you'll be getting them a lot faster than usual, and upgrading your character will grant you much higher levels and better stats. If you lose all your health, your team will have a short time to revive you before you actually die. But don't get excited yet, because you're still gonna lose a level. Now we won't know until the game actually comes out, but this means if you and your team go down enough times during a boss fight, you might be too weak to even kill the boss, and we'll have to start the run all over again from the beginning. Besides the bosses though, if you die while fighting a regular schmegular enemy, yeah, well, say goodbye to your runes, because they'll snatch them up faster than you can say dung eater, and will keep them until you go back and defeat them. After each boss run, you'll be brought back to level 1 and sent to an alternate version of the Roundtable Hold, where you can use training grounds to practice and talk to all the aforementioned characters. Plus, the Firekeeper? Holy crap, this game is already peak. Now that I'm thinking about it though, with all of these characters from the Souls games now officially being brought over to Nightreign with a main storyline, doesn't that mean this game is gonna be canon? No, this video is already way too long. I'll save that one for next time. So, at first glance, this game might seem like a cash grab that's just banking off of Elden Ring success, but there's a couple more important things to consider. First of all, it's not going to be a live service game. FromSoft have confirmed that they want everything to be accessible up front, so you won't have to worry about microtransactions or Elden bugs. And second, I'm sorry, this game just looks phenomenal. They've already revealed bosses from past Souls games in just the reveal trailer, and I doubt they're gonna stop at just 2. Elden Ring already felt like a love letter to the Soulsborne fanbase, and to me, this is just another extension of that letter. I haven't even played a second of it yet, and already it's looking more like Berserk than the base game, and I didn't even know that was possible. But either way, this game is not going to be for everybody. Some people are just always going to prefer the main game even after this drops next year, and that's totally fine. Elden Ring will always be in my top 5 games of all time, and for good reason. It's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece of a game. The open beta should be open a few months before its official launch, and if you're a longtime Souls fan, I would highly recommend giving this one a chance. Who knows? It may just restore a little bit of your humanity. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on Elden Ring Nightreign? Are you excited to play it, or are you gonna pass on this one? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you liked the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing to see more coverage and gameplay of Nightreign in the future. And until next time,